Why, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Truly Odd podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I am your host, Joe Garcia. So go ahead and grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's dive right on into these topics, shall we? Starting with our game news topics of the day. And our first game news topic of the day is a rumor, so take what I say with a bit of a grain of salt. But it's currently rumored that Rockstar is testing Grand Theft Auto 6 on the Switch 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article from Game Rant. So, according to this article, industry leakers claim that Rockstar is testing Grand Theft Auto 6 on the Nintendo Switch 2 console, though no official confirmation has been made. The 6 month push from its original May release has led to a dip in Take Two stock and intensified scrutiny around Rockstar's development timeline. If you don't know who Take Two is, that's the parent company of Rockstar. They basically own, just so you guys know. But with support of 4K resolution and DLSS upscaling, the Switch 2 could feasibly handle Grand Theft Auto 6, but no port would likely arrive after a PS5 or a Xbox Series X. No port would arrive soon, most likely after a PS5 and Xbox Series X version is already released. So yeah, guys, I think the truth behind this is while yeah, I'm sure they're looking into getting this game on the Nintendo Switch too, they definitely don't want their first things out there to be a part of this console. And the reason for that is just because it's just not as powerful and it won't look as good on this console as it does on the PS5 or Xbox or even PC. So the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be far off from a release for Grand Theft Auto 6. So they probably are looking into this. But another thing I think is the reason this rumor is coming out currently is because all the drama going on with Rockstar. If you guys don't know, sometimes in the game industry and even in the film industry, you release certain information, you release your own leaked information, you release your own rumors, so you can kind of dwindle down some of the other bad news that's going on with you. And right now, Rockstar has some bad news with strikes going out outside of some of the Take Two offices and the Rockstar offices, specifically in Great Britain, because of some union busting allegations that they had. If you're interested about that, we talked about that last episode. So yeah, I think that's kind of what's going on here. It's much to do about nothing and just kind of releasing information to kind of sweep everything, all the bigger drama going on under the rug. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Do you guys want Grand Theft Auto 6 to be on the Nintendo Switch 2? All right, guys. That being said, let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic of the day is Capcom has denied the Eyepatch Leon images as fake news, but won't confirm whether Resident Evil Requiem has a different type of cast or has other characters, playable characters. Jesus, I can't talk today. And my dyslexia is kicking in, but that's just life for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article from IGN. So, according to this article, Masato Kamazawa, forgive me if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, confirmed that the widely criticized image of Leon S. Kennedy with an eye patch is fan made and not official content. So that image would be this one right here, if you guys are curious of what Leon Kennedy image they're referring to. So Capcom continues to promote Grace Ashcroft as the lead, but hasn't ruled out other playable characters, fueling ongoing fan theories. Deluxe edition costumes tags referencing Grace's costume has led fans to believe additional characters like Leon may still be appearing. So basically, because the DLC says Grace's costume and it's kind of quoting Grace's costume, showing that it's her name and not just another costume, and I think the reason for that is because you're probably going to have other characters that you can equip different costumes. So it'll be a Grace costume, and let's say Leon's in the game, you get a Leon costume, and so on. So it's been long rumored for a couple months now that Leon Kennedy is going to be in the new Resident Evil game, and that a lot of people have been circulating this image around. So whether this is true or not still remains to be seen. I hope he's playable because he is my favorite Resident Evil character personally, and it would just be nice to see him return to the franchise, especially after he's kind of had a bit of a hiatus as far as the ongoing narrative for the story. We've really been focusing on what was the guy's name? Ethan. Yeah, so we've been focusing on Ethan's character. So yeah, it'd be nice to see him return since I don't think we've seen him since Resident Evil 6, I think. So it'd be nice to see him get back into the fold. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Do you believe that this image, let me pull it back up again, is fake, or do you think that it is a real image from the game and they're just lying about it? Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic of the day is talking about the drama going on at Krafton. If you guys don't know, there's been a Subnautica 2 issue with some lawsuits and legal issues, but according to this article. Let me read to you guys the title first. I got ahead of myself. Krafton has been accused of using ChatGPT to avoid paying its $250 million bonus to Subnautica to uh, in Subnautica's 2's legal battle. Oh my god, it's actually really kicking in today. Anyways, according to this IGN article, a Krafton CEO reportedly used ChatGPT to brainstorm ways to avoid paying Unknown Worlds $250 million earnout, while internal Slack messages dis- discussed a studio takeover via Project X. Unknown Worlds founders claimed that Subnautica 2 was ready for a 2025 soft launch, citing internal playtest data and expert assessment, contracting Krafton's delay decision. Krafton defends its actions as prioritizing player experience, with both sides while both sides exchanging lawsuits over alleged misconduct, stolen files, and conflicting visions for the sequel's future. Sorry, guys, I'm just fucking horrible today with my reading. Anyways, but so all the details, and to break it down for you a little further with what's going on here, the founders of what's this company called, of Unknown Worlds, the people that made Subnautica, were contracted to get a $250 million bonus. The studio was contracted to get a $250 million bonus if they were to release Subnautica 2 sometime in 2025. Now, Subnautica 2 was to the point where the founders or the people felt that it was ready for a bit of a play test and to get some data in and see how the audience reacts and then adjust as needed. But Krafton decided to come in and say no, so they didn't have to pay the $250 million. At least that's how it looks. Now, of course, Krafton says that they're doing that because they wanted the game to be good. The game wasn't ready to be released, and now drama is ensuing and lawsuits are going. So, but according to this, some details have come out that ChatGPT was used so they can avoid paying out their $250 million deal that they made with their contract. So, if this is true, then yeah, this is definitely not looking good for Krafton. So, hopefully, we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with this. If this is true, hopefully, Unknown Worlds gets back into the right hands of the people that originally made the first Subnautica game, and they get their $250 million payout. But we're gonna have to wait and see what ends up happening with this. But yeah, that is the update for this drama. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic of the day is regarding Clair Obscur Expedition 33 breaks Game Awards records with 12 nominations, including Game of the Year. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article from IGN. Along with this article, we do have the nominations for Game of the Year, and we're going to go through that list. Now, I can't go through everything because that'll be a lot of time, but I'll break down to you guys some of the games. We'll take a look at some of the overall ones. But according to this article, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 leads the Game Awards 2025 with 12 nominations, the most ever for a single title, spanning categories from Game of the Year and the Best Performance. Other top candidates include Death Stranding and Ghost of Yote with 7 nods each, while Hades 2 and Hollow Knight's Silksong also earned multiple nominations. The ceremony is set to debut on December 11th. The Game Awards will stream live with winners, trailers, music guests, and surprises, spotlighting a year of standout releases and industry milestones. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. I think this is Clair Obscur's going to win, and here's the reason. If it For me, it makes no sense for a game that gets 12 nominations. If they lose, that's wild to me. So here are our Game of the Year nominations. We got Clair Obscur Expedition 33. We got Death Stranding 2 on the beach. We have Donkey Kong Bonanza. We have, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Deliverance 2. But my question is, and maybe it's a little side note, if you have Death Stranding with 7 nominations, and you have Ghost of Yote with 7 nominations. Now I'm not sure how much all the nominations are, but why isn't Ghost of Yote on here? Now I don't think it deserves Game of the Year, but if it has that many nominations, I'm very curious as to why it's not up here for Game of the Year. So we'd have to go through the whole list and break it down number by number, but that's just weird to me. But yes, this is Expedition 33's game. They're definitely going to take it. 12 nominations. They've won the award. It's set in stone. It'd be ridiculous if they didn't. But we also have Best Director with Expedition, of course, Death Stranding, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, and Split Fiction. Best Narrative, Expedition again, Death Stranding again, Ghost of Yote, Kingdom Come, and Silent Hill F. Best Art Direction, as you can see here. Best Sound and Music, I can't go through all of them, forgive me guys. Best Audience, Audio Design, Best Performance. Those are all right here for you guys to take a look at. Want Innovation in Accessibility. You know what? I'm very curious. Do these nominations count towards the total 12? Because these are 3 separate nominations in the same category. So I'm very curious about it. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just call that 6. Okay, hold on. I'm just looking for Expedition 33. Sorry. 7, 8. Oh. 9. That. 10. Yep. So I think those are the 3. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I think that's it. And I might have missed one here. But anyways, that's kind of how they're nominating with 12 nominations. My apologies, guys. Very curious about that. We have some other nominations here. I'm sure you guys took a look at this as we were going through it. So if you guys are curious about the entirety of the list, I will have a link to this article in the description down below so you guys could take a look at it for yourself and go what the list is. But yeah, this is definitely Expedition 33's year, and it's going to be winning Game of the Year, which is awesome because we just got our copy of it, the special edition. So I'm very much looking forward to checking it out and playing it for myself when I have the opportunity. Hopefully, when I'm done playing it and there's time, I'll get you guys a review if you guys are. But that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think of these year's nominations and which game do you think deserves to win Game of the Year. Me personally, I think at least a Game of the Year nomination should have gone to Split Fiction. I just think it was too early in the year and it really got forgotten overall for these lists, and I think it definitely deserved to be in. That's been so far my favorite. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and move on to our last game news topic of the day. And our last game news topic of the day is regarding Ubisoft has, excuse me, Ubisoft warns of revenue decline as players shift away from full price game model, according to this article from IGN. So specifically, I'm going to read you guys this headline because it kind of breaks it down. Assassin's Creed publisher Ubisoft says many new games are struggling as players turn away from traditional releases in favor of subscription, live service, and free to play games, which is fucking bullshit. And I'll explain why right now. But let me go ahead and read to you guys some more details in the article. Ubisoft criticized a growing preference for subscription, free to play, and live service game over traditional $60 releases, leading to a weak performance for new titles. Despite focusing on Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft has faced setbacks with Star Wars Outlaws, X Defiant, and other live service efforts. Alongside layoffs and restructuring, the company abruptly halted shares and trading, and postponed its financial report, leaving staff and stakeholders awaiting clarity amid mounting industry pressure. But this is interesting that they say this, and it kind of goes to show how full of shit some of these people in the game industry, at least, some of the higher up executives. It's sad to say that because when you don't realize what's going on in your own industry and you think just live service games are the end all be all, you're really not paying attention to what's happening. We have very ridiculously successful single player games. Split Fiction did absolutely phenomenal this year. Um, Battlefield did great this year. That's not a live service game. Yeah, it's a multiplayer game, but he's talking about very $60 releases. Now, let's just say, fuck the multiplayer. Let's get rid of multiplayer. and just focus on single player experiences. We got Split Fiction, we got Ghosts of Yote, we have Spider-Man 2. We just had, now minus the multiplayer aspect of it, we just had the fourth highest grossing video game of all time in Red Dead Redemption, which yes does have an online multiplayer mode, but that is a single player campaign game first and foremost. Sorry, that's just how I feel. You take away the multiplayer, I think the game still would have made it to the fourth highest selling game of all time. So it's ridiculous that they say things like that when that just came out like last week. That is the fourth highest grossing video game of all time. Like it's set in stone. God of War is a phenomenal franchise with campaign. I'm biased towards God of War, obviously, but still, if Santa Monica Studios wouldn't continue to make God of War games if they weren't successful, and they made two very successful God of War games. Ghost of Tsushima did phenomenal. Now Ghost of Yote is keeping up with the same pace, and it costs the same, around $60 million to produce. So it just goes to show how very out of whack some of these studios are. Now, another example would be how Sony recently try to do a lot of live service game and failed miserably in Concord. Sadly, it had to fail in order for them to realize that a lot of the live service games that they were producing probably wouldn't be very successful. Now, Fortnite, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals aren't the expectation. They are the what is the word I'm looking for? I can't remember the word, but they're just an example of how you could be successful, but they're, damn it, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a way to say it. I'm sure you guys are screaming it at me, but they aren't the standard. They're the expectation. I guess you could say not expectation. I'm using the wrong words here. Anyways, I can't speak today. But you can't expect to be like those games because those games are outliers in the world of the video game industry. Look at all the games that people want to play. A lot of these remakes of single player games, Silent Hill, single player game. So it just makes no sense that a studio would feel this way. Now, Assassin's Creed has dwindled down in quality because people aren't enjoying the games as much as they used to. They got rid of their main protagonist in the story that they were telling a long time ago. So, what is the purpose of continuing this franchise to introduce new characters? Cool, that's awesome. But having the continuity of characters that you love and characters you want to see their story progressing, a la Halo, is something you want to see. And even Halo hasn't been doing very well as well. That's just because the quality of games has dropped. Sorry for that long rant, guys. I know there's a lot of detail. But I think this guy or whoever said this publisher at Ubisoft or whoever says this is not really paying attention to what's going on in their own industry. And they really should take a step back and take a look at it because if they don't, they're just going to fail and fail and fail over and over and over. And their Star Wars Outlaws game wasn't good. That's why people didn't want to buy it. It wasn't good. Plain and simple. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below. Do you agree with me? Do you have any other opinions regarding this? And let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, that being said, let's go ahead and. Oh, sorry. That does it for our game news topics of the day. We're going to go ahead and move on to our movie news topics. And our first movie news topic of the day is regarding the Moana teaser trailer has dropped. Now, I wish I could play it for you guys, but YouTube, bit of a bitch, so I can't really play it for you guys. But we did get our Moana teaser trailer, and I'm not sure if this girl here who's playing Moana is the one singing in the trailer because she sounds very similar to the one from the animated movie. She sounds a lot older. I can't hear. She sings like an adult. If she is the singing, my hat's off to her because she sings like an adult. But that voice does not sound right coming out of her, so I'm assuming it's someone else. Let me know if you guys figured out who is the actual singer for the trailer. But I was hoping in this teaser we would get our first look at Dwayne The Rock Johnson in his role as Maui because he's going to be the big selling point for the film, having Maui do it. But it doesn't look like that's the case. But so it was a decent teaser introducing the movie. But I've seen a lot of people online saying, why are we getting this? It's too soon for a live action adaptation of this. And while I semi agree, you still have the original animated one if you want to go see that, and you don't really have to watch this if you're not very interested in it. Now, a lot of the remakes don't have, how do I say, a lot of the remakes don't have a lot of cultural appropriation. Like, there's not a lot of, well, never mind. They kind of recast things and they did with it, stuff like that. So you can't really say that as well. So Yeah, I just think it's a $1 billion franchise and they want money and milking it. That's basically what they got going on here with this film, and I'm hoping it turns out to be absolutely phenomenal. We're gonna have to wait and see. But I thought this trailer was decent for what it was as a teaser trailer. Let me know what you guys thought of the teaser in the comments down below. All right, guys. That being said, let's go ahead and move over to our next movie news topic of the day. And our next movie news topic of the day is regarding the Project Hail Mary trailer 2 has just dropped today. If you guys haven't taken a look at it, I'll have a link to it in the description down below. What a hell of a trailer. They not only introduced Ryan Gosling character, but they also introduced the alien that we saw at the end of the last trailer. Now, there were some people online saying that, oh, they're spoiling it with the alien, but if I'm know from what I've heard and what I've know about the book, he's a very big part of the story. So it makes sense for them to introduce him early on into the movie. He's probably going to be introduced within like the first half of the movie, if not before then, the first quarter of the movie. So I think it's interesting to see his interaction with this alien, and I love their relationship. It looked funny, it looked exciting, it looked visually stunning, and I cannot wait for this movie. I haven't been this incited about a sci-fi movie in quite some time, at least past couple years, but I can't think of one at least, especially for originals. Maybe Dune, and I that was based off a book, and I was very excited for that one. I guess that can say was the last sci-fi movie that's not a sequel that I was very excited for. So I'm very excited to see this movie, and I hope it turns out really well. Let me know what you guys thought of this trailer and comments down below. All right, guys, that being said, let's go ahead and move over to our next movie news topic of the day. And our next movie news topic of the day is regarding Christian Bale is circling a role in Michael Mann's Heat 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article from Deadline. So, according to this article, Michael Mann is eyeing Christian Bale for a major role in Heat 2, reuniting with his public enemy star alongside Leonardo DiCaprio. The production is set to begin next year. Amazon MGM Studios and United Artists will produce the film based on Mann's and Meg Gardiner's, I think I'm saying that right, best-selling novel that expands the original timeline. That expands the original's timeline. The story explores events before and after Heat, following Chris Shiver, I don't know how the fuck to pronounce that, and Vincent Hanna across Chicago, Southeast Asia, and the US Mexico border. And it never hurts to add amazing talent like Christian Bale and talent, so I'm excited to see him in Heat 2. My problem with Heat 2 isn't the fact that they're making it, isn't the fact that they're making having phenomenal casts like Leonardo DiCaprio, Christian Bale. There's also rumors of Adam Driver, of Austin Butler as well that are supposed to possibly be in these roles. But the problem I'm having with this film is that, excuse me, is that Heat 2, we don't have Val Kilmer no more. Robert De Niro is very much up there in age, so those actors have kind of aged out of these roles, and I would very much like to see them in the movie. So because of that, it's not even about seeing them in the movie. It's more about how it's going to be connecting to the first movie. I feel like it's not a good connection. Now I know they've had other movies with other actors playing younger version characters and stuff like that, but I really feel like Heat is so far in the past that it'd be better for them to do a take of Heat and then do Heat 2, or film them back to back as a twofer. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you guys excited to see Christian Bale join the cast, possibly joining the two? All right, guys. That being said, let's go ahead and move over to our next movie news topic of the day. Oh, and I just spoiled that for you guys, but whatever. Anyways, our next movie news topic of the day is Ryan Coogler has confirmed that. Well, I didn't really spoil it for you guys. It's a fucking open picture right now. Anyways, I'm dumb. Ryan Coogler has confirmed that Black Panther 3 is his next film, with Denzel Washington set to join the MC. Go ahead and take a look at this from movie. Director Ryan Coogler confirmed at Deadline's Contenders event that Black Panther 3 is officially in development and will be his next film. Denzel Washington joins the cast. The Oscar-winning actor revealed that he's set to star in the sequel, with Coogler expressing deep admiration and intent to collaborate. Following the success of the first two films and the emotional impact of Chadwick Boseman's passing, Coogler faces high stakes in continuing Wakanda's story. So yeah, guys, this is very exciting to see Denzel Washington come and join the Black Panther family to join in the MCU. I'm very curious what character he's going to be playing. If he's going to be playing a villain, if he's going to be playing a hero, if he's going to be playing an older version of Chadwick Boseman's character as T'Challa, maybe because it is kind of multiversal. Who knows? The question is, when are we going to get this? I'm thinking we're going to be getting it in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, possibly. But then again, they are filming those back to back, so we might be getting this after Secret Wars. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get a bit of a Denzel in Secret Wars or in Doomsday. Maybe not. We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening. But I'm very excited to see how Black Panther 3 turns out. And it's nice to have Ryan Coogler return and kind of end the trilogy that he started. And hopefully it's a nice end to the trilogy. Uh, he really had a fucked up thing to do, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, having Boseman's passing and having to shoot that film without him. So it's sad to see that happen. But I'm very curious how he's going to tell this story now that he doesn't have to adjust for the passing of his main star. If they're going to really focus on Shuri's character being the new Black Panther, or if they're going to try to shift more towards T'Challa's son, another version of T'Challa from a multiverse. If they're going to recast, I'm very curious what they're going to. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you guys excited for Ryan Coogler to return to the Black Panther franchise and film Black Panther? All right, guys. That being said, let's go ahead and move over to our last movie news topic of the day. And our last movie news topic of the day is regarding Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is getting a shared reality experience with Cosmo and Warner Brothers. Sorry about that, guys. I'm mumbling here. So, if you guys haven't seen, this is kind of like the Matrix experience that they got at Cosmo. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you guys some images right now. But Cosmo will perform a dome-based immersive uh, version of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in early 2026, with a debut in LA and Dallas, with Detroit and Atlanta to follow. Produced by Little Cinema and Make. The event uses a 87-foot LED dome. I keep saying doom. And themed elements like butterbeer to fill the immersion. Following The Matrix and Willy Wonka, this marks the latest collaboration, redefining cinematic experience through shared re- reality technology. God, dyslexia kicked in, guys. I'm working now, so my brain is already fucked throughout the day. But let's go ahead and take a look at this, at what they're talking about here. So if you guys haven't seen this before, let me go ahead and pull this up. Uh, the Matrix was recently played at Cosmo, or what is it called? Yeah, I think Cosmo. So if you guys haven't seen it, this isn't like the Sphere in Vegas. It's something completely different. I think we've talked about it before, but if you guys don't know what I'm referring, go ahead and go to the website for Cosmo. Show you guys. So here we go. Up these. So it's the screen, and it kind of immerses you like this into the film. So they did it with Matrix, and they're now going to be doing it with Willy Wonka, and now eventually Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is going to come and do something similar. Now this is not as immersive as uh, the Sphere in Vegas, like they're doing with the Wizard of Oz, but for them to do something like Harry Potter, for them to do something like Willy Wonka, I think is absolutely awesome and very interesting to see how it pans out. And I'm very curious if that means they're going to be ending up doing the entirety of the Harry Potter series. And I think this would be awesome because it's cool for people to experience, not only to see the movie in theaters, but see the movie in a different kind of reality technology way before the release of the HBO Max series. It kind of gives you a bit of a rewatch. I was thinking about doing a rewatch of all the Harry Potter movies before the HBO Max. Now, not to compare and contrast, but just to rewatch it because it's been so long since I've seen it. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Would you guys like to see Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in the Cosmo, whatever the hell they call that experience? And would you guys like to see any other Harry Potter movies to follow? Me personally, my favorite one is The Prisoner of Azkaban, and I would absolutely see that in this kind of experience. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Truly Odd Podcast, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. And always remember, guys, stay true, be odd.